Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today. I'm really glad everybody could join us. So today we're going to be diving in. I'm going to be mapping out the exact steps on how you can get $250,000, more or less, depending on how much you want to apply for in business credit that's linked to your EIN and not linked to your personal Social Security number. And we're also going to be talking about loans. We're going to talk about how to easily get business loans and credit lines to be able to grow your business as well. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ty Cradle. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So I've spent about 17 years in the finance industry. Ever since I got out of the Air Force back in the 90s, I've worked with mortgages, I've worked with consumer credit, and I've spent a large part of my career working with commercial credit, working with business credit. Now, I actually speak about business credit worldwide. I actually just got back from trips to I don't even remember where I was, California and Dallas, Texas. So I'm usually all over the place talking about the topics that we're going to be talking about today. And am also the author of two of the best-selling books on credit, consumer and business credit, Perfect Credit Decoded, Perfect Credit and Business Credit Decoded, as well as I'm seen as an authority with news stations, podcast, radio, TV, including Inc., Forbes, Entrepreneur. I'll talk to you a little bit later about how you can learn a little bit more about my media exposure. And I actually oversee the largest business credit partner division in the United States. So today, as where we stand now, we've helped about 15,000 people build business credit over the last few years. And then we also oversee thousands of partners that offer business credit and financing as a service as well. And in doing so, we handle all their servicing. So I only tell you this not to boast about my accomplishments, but just to tell you a little bit about my experience and my knowledge on the topic that we're going to be diving into and discussing today. So outside of that, I love having fun. I spend a lot of my free time with my family and enjoy all kinds of crazy activities, including the fact that I am an avid pilot as well. So here's a little bit of look into my life. I hang out a lot with my kids. We go to Disney quite a bit because we're right down here in Florida, and I try to make the most of where I live by flying and scuba diving and doing a bunch of cool stuff, because I'm originally from Indiana, where there's really not a lot of cool stuff to do. So this gives me an opportunity to be able to come in and be able to enjoy the state that we live in. So what we're going to be covering today, we're going to talk about how you can immediately get business credit that's linked to your EIN and not your Social Security number, even if you're a startup or have bad personal credit now. We're then going to talk about how you can immediately start this initial business credit and profile and score that you create, and how to start getting store credit with this as well, even talking about Amazon, Staples, Lowe's, Ford, Best Buy, Visa, MasterCard, Amex, and more. How you can easily access loans when the banks say no, and even as a startup. We're going to talk about how you can get financing with credit challenges, how you can get financing with a lack of collateral. We're going to talk about how you can also make money with business credit financing. So if that's something that you're interested in, we're going to have a discussion. We're going to talk a little bit more about how you can make money with business credit and financing as well. And we're also, if you're staying to the end, we're going to talk about how you have a chance to grab some bonuses at the end. And then you're also, by staying to the end, going to have a chance to get a playback. I will stay for a Q&A. So I will answer any questions that you all have, but if you stay even and leave before the Q&A, but to the end, then we will send you a playback of the webinar as well today. So look, let's start right at the basic beginning. I mean, most people that try to get money to grow a business fail. It's probably why a lot of you are here on this webinar right now. And the reason that I see so many people fail is because they try to go to their bank to get money. So basically, they're trying to go to the wrong place to be able to get the money they need to grow their business. And the reason for that, I think, is because a lot of people don't even know that business credit exists. They don't know that you could build business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your personal Social Security number. And a lot of people don't understand the business credit building process. A lot of people don't know the steps or the process to go through to be able to build business credit. And this is another reason that a lot of people aren't successful with getting business credit for their business, and a lot of people aren't successful with getting any kind of financing for their business because they just don't know that you can actually get money based on your strengths, even when you can't qualify with conventional banks. Even when you think you can't qualify for business financing, you still have a very good chance of getting approved if you understand this system that lenders are looking at to actually approve you. And we're going to be diving into all these today so you don't run into these problems, so you do know what business credit is, so you can succeed, so you're not trying to go to your bank in the wrong places to get money. You're going to places that will give you money based on your strengths. And you're also going to understand this exact steps to build business credit that the credit system really kind of keeps under wraps and doesn't tell you how this works. We're going to decode all this. Now, are you in the right place? Well, if you're looking to get money to start a business, if you're looking to get money to grow a business, those are going to be the things that we're talking about today. If you're looking for high limit credit accounts that are not linked to your social security number, which means your social security number is not part of the actual application process, then we're going to be talking about that as well today. And if you want the easiest and fastest way to get the most money for your business, we're going to be diving into that today as well. And if you want to get credit lines, loans, if you're looking to get this kind of financing for your business, then we're going to be diving into that topic as well. So a lot of people ask, will business credit work for me? Well, business credit's the only financial solution you can get regardless of cash flow, regardless of collateral, regardless of consumer credit quality. So no matter how good or bad your personal credit is, you're still able to get business credit. You're still able to get it if you don't have collateral. You're still able to get it even if you do not have consistent cash flow, okay? And this means that any business can obtain it, even startups. So again, even if you're a nonprofit, even if you're just kind of getting your business started, even if you don't have the things that you actually need to be able to get approved for a lot of kind of financing, then you're still able to come in and build business credit. So this means any kind of business can get business credit as long as you have a business here in the United States. Now here's some actual approvals so you can see kind of what we're looking at. Here's a couple of Visa cards, applied bank approval with this one. Some of these have a personal guarantee, some of these don't, and usually most of them will say. Here's a Chevron Texaco account for $4,000. Here's a Staples credit account without a personal guarantee, a J.C. Penney's account. Here's somebody that's buying computers using Uline vendors, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. We're going to talk about $6,000 Amazon. Here's a $10,000 Apple. We're going to talk about how to get approved for both of these type of accounts a little bit later today. Here's a $12,500 Apple approval. Here's somebody that got $8,500 in credit so far. Here's the $1,000 Office Depot account and another Office Depot approval. Here's an Exxon Mobil for $2,000, and here's one with no PG, $17,000 Amazon account. So I think a lot of you watching can easily think about what you can buy with Amazon with $17,000 without a personal guarantee. Here's a JCPenney account. And again, we kind of go on and on. There's a $2,600 approval, $4,000 approval, another $4,000 approval through Amazon. Here's a bunch of approvals. Looks like American Express Blue, Walmart credit card, Seton, Quill, Uline, Monopolize Your Marketplace, as well as Amazon and a bunch of other approvals. Here's a $50,000 Pilot Flying J account. If you go to Pilot Flying J, a big truck stop that's really popular down here especially. Here's $7,000 worth of credit approval so far. Somebody that's buying printers using their business credit. Here's another approval here, looks like through Amazon, $4,000 approval. Here's a $1,600 approval, an Exxon Mobil, an American Express for $9,000. And Ian, here's a $7,200 approval, another American Express with $20,000 with no personal guarantee. Here's a $50,000 approval. Here's doing the happy dance, no personal guarantee, Dell for $10,000. Here's a racetrack approval for $6,000. Here's another approval for $7,200. So again, I show you these because a lot of these are ordinary people just like you, didn't know anything about business credit, didn't understand the steps, didn't understand the process, and following the exact formula that I'm going to decode for you today, we're then able to come in and start getting all these kind of approvals, whether it be for computers or office supplies or just cash credit using American Express or even auto vehicle financing. Here's what's really possible from people once they actually decode the system. So let's start at the beginning. What is business credit? Well, business credit is credit that's obtained in a business name. With business credit, the business itself builds its own credit profile and credit score for its EIN number. This credit is in the business name and based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owner's. Okay, the business qualifies for high limit revolving store credit cards like Office Depot, Home Depot, Sam's Club, Costco, Dell, BP, Walmart, MasterCard, Amex, Visa, auto loans. And the business becomes more lendable, providing easy access to credit lines and loans. We're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you here shortly, within just actually a matter of a couple minutes, what it looks like from a lender's perspective and how business credit profiles determine, the kind of money that you'll be able to get approved for. So this is what business credit is. We're building credit for a business name linked to a business EIN. The business is building its own credit profile and score so it stands on its own. And then once it stands on its own, it has this ability to get all this financing through almost all major kinds of revolving credit, even Visa, MasterCard, American Express, auto financing, and make the business more lendable as well. So a lot of reasons business credit's awesome. First of all, it has no effect on personal credit. So that means there's no adverse impact on your consumer credit score. So the problem is a lot of business owners try to use personal credit to fund their business. I'm sure you may be guilty. I've done this in the past before I discovered business credit as well, which means you use your own credit cards to put your business expenses on. The problem is that consumer credit was never designed to do that. It was never designed to fund a business. Your limits are much smaller. So what happens is when you try to use consumer credit cards to fund a business, you put high balances on your credit cards. Utilization, or the balances in relation to your limits, affects 30% of your FICO score. So when you do this, you adversely affect 30% of your consumer credit score and you tank your credit scores. The other problem is by putting all these inquiries on your personal credit report, you ruin your ability to get a lot of kinds of business financing. We're going to talk about one today where even one or two inquiries can cost you $25,000 to $50,000 in funding. So in my space, in the business loan space, you have to be very conservative with your inquiries. When you let people put inquiries on your personal credit report, you really limit your ability to get a lot of different kind of business financing. So another benefit is that business credit's based on business credit quality, not consumer credit quality. So no matter how bad or good your consumer credit is, you can still get approved. You have a 400, 500 credit score, it doesn't matter, because when you build business credit the way I'm going to show you today, you're doing it without supplying a social security number, which means you can get approved without a personal credit check. There's no social, there's no personal credit check. You're getting approved regardless of personal credit quality, and you're also getting approved without a personal guarantee. That means you're not liable for your business debts. If you ever default, if you ever go into collections, then you're not personally liable for what's actually happening in your business. Now, business credit is really fast to build. You can get this credit. I'm going to show you how to finish this webinar and immediately get credit. And then you can finish the process, get all the way to the end in only about 4 to 6 months of total time. Now, this is also important because anybody that wants to can see your business credit reports. Unlike with consumer credit, where somebody needs your permission to pull your consumer credit reports, in the business world, anybody who wants to can actually come in and see your business credit reports. That means your prospects, your competitors, potential buyers of your business, clients, investors, anybody that wants to can see these business credit reports. Okay, now this also gives you greater borrowing ability because business credit is the only legal way you can have two credit profiles. You have one as a consumer and you have one as a business. So by having two credit profiles, then that gives you the ability to come in and be able to get a Staples credit card, Office Depot credit card as a person, and you can also get it as a business. So if you walk into Staples today to apply for a credit card, well, you can't walk into Staples tomorrow and apply for the same credit card. But with business credit, you can apply the next day in your business name and get approved even if you already have a credit card with that actual retailer. Now, per SBA, limits on business credit accounts are about 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit, as we just talked about. That makes a lot of sense. You may never need to buy $10,000 worth of home computers at Dell, but you easily could need to spend $10,000 to get computers for an office. So limits are much higher on business credit than they are consumer credit because businesses have a greater appetite for credit. They need more money. This is why it's so problematic when you use consumer credit to try to grow a business, because your limits are much smaller than they should be for that purpose. But with business credit, we're going to talk about today how to get 10, 20, 30, $40,000 limit credit cards in 6 months or less, regardless of your personal credit quality. That seems almost too good to be true, but it's really not if you think about it, because again, a lot of businesses may spend $20, $30, $40,000 a month on a credit card, whereas an individual will never do that. And that's why business limits are so much higher, because the credit issuers are used to businesses spending at a greater amount than what consumers are. Now, you can get approved even when you can't get a bank loan, okay, or alternative financing, even as a startup. Business credit's the only all-around solution that works for every business. If you have a business, if you have an EIN, you can get it. Okay, it doesn't need any of these other criteria that you need to get loans. And we'll talk about some of that criteria as we dive in. Now, another benefit is it gives you access to loans and credit lines to help you fund and grow your business. Okay, helps you fund the growth of your overall business because again, you're able to make it easier to qualify for loans and credit lines, which of course gives you a competitive advantage because any business that has access to money is better and easier to have a chance of growing than a company that doesn't. Now, again, as we talked about earlier, you can get business credit as long as you have a business in the USA. That's a requirement. A lot of people listening from Canada and from these other countries, you can still get business credit here. You just have to get an entity set up in the United States and have an EIN. If you have those things, then you're able to come in and get approved. And you can build business credit for multiple businesses. Okay, and this is what a lot of our clients do. A lot of our clients come in and succeed in getting business credit, then they turn around and follow the exact same steps and be able to do this for multiple businesses. Now, you can get business credit even as a nonprofit, even as a startup. Okay, so again, where it's very difficult to get financing as a nonprofit, you can still come in and get business credit. And you don't have to buy bogus trade lines or shelf corporations. I saw a guy today trying to sell bogus trade lines for thousands of dollars. I see people all the time ask about shelf corporations. Today, I'm going to teach you how to get business credit without any of this stuff. You don't ever want to buy this stuff. As a matter of fact, shelf corporations and trade lines being purchased are things that the credit reporting agencies frown on. And in the business world, if they find out you do it, they just shut down your credit profile completely. Like your business credit profile is there one day, and the next day it's gone, and you have to start building business credit all over again. So we don't want to try these unethical ways of trying to build business credit, because if you do, then it really gets you in trouble with the reporting agencies. I'm going to show you how to do it the legal, correct way without going down that road. Okay, now business credit quality will determine if you get approved for business loans, how much you'll get approved for. It also determines the rates and terms that you will pay. So you can be denied business financing based on business credit quality, even if you have no business credit established. I just did a webinar on this earlier today on how you can start your business credit profile with no credit and still be given a failing score. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute here. Okay, so let's look at some actual reports to see this in action. So as I just mentioned, you can be issued a failing business credit score even if you have no credit. Consumers aren't used to this. As consumers, you only get a bad credit report if you do bad things, if you don't pay your bills, for example. But if you pay your bills, if you do the good things, then you get a good profile, you get a good score. But with business credit, you can be issued and will be issued a failing credit score if they have what they call firmographic information on your business. And here's what that includes. If they know your business name, your business address, and your SIC code, they will automatically populate a credit report for you. It will automatically have a 27 to a 29 score, which the 100's the highest you can get. That's a failing score. And they will automatically deem you as a very high risk. You can see here that this is considered to be a middle high risk score. It's not as high a risk as you can go, but it's almost as high a risk as you can go. And you can see the reason: lack of trades. You see, in the commercial world, the way it's looked at is that by you not having access to credit, you are an extremely high risk. So therefore, you can easily default and have a better chance of defaulting on obligations because you actually have come in and you don't have any credit established. It could really be negative if this is the case. So again, you want to make sure that you build business credit right away. If you don't, even as you can see here with 0 for accounts, this person still has a failing score. They're not being recommended for very much credit, and it's going to be very difficult to get loans, credit lines, and any kind of business credit card. Now, the great news is I'm going to show you how to get accounts today. And even with one account reporting on your business credit report, you can turn it all around, because the credit scores, as I'll show you, are based primarily on how you pay your bills. So if you pay your bills on time, you get good scores. If you don't pay your bills on time, you don't get good scores. So as long as you get accounts that report, which I'll show you how to do, and you pay the bills as agreed, you get good scores. So here's a company that has a 96 score. Remember, it goes to 100, so that's about as high as you can get. And what's interesting is that this person has a very low risk score, about as low a risk as you can get, and they only have one account on the credit report. Matter of fact, this is a packaging account, and I'll tell you later which account this is, and I'll show you how to get it. Now, the interesting part about this is that here's what they look like. They were a 28 score, And that one account took them all the way up to where they are now as a 96 with one account reporting. So again, we're not used to this in the consumer world because the consumer FICO score takes into account a lot of other things other than payment. But in the business world, it's primarily based on how you pay your bill. So we've got to get accounts that report to the Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian commercial. And in doing so, once you pay the bill as agreed, you get a good score. You can go from no credit or failing credit score to excellent credit score and low risk almost instantaneous the minute that that positive account reports. But it gets even better than that because beyond looking at this approval for a 28 score where somebody has no credit, they're recommended for $1,000 in credit. Then we see that what we just showed, that the 96 score where that credit limit recommendation starts to increase. As you grow the credit, then the higher amount of credit recommendation you have. So you can see at the bottom of these two images, credit limit recommendation. Experian, Equifax, and D&B all have the same thing on their credit reports, which means the lenders and credit issuers that you're applying with to give you loans and credit lines and credit cards, they're all recommending a certain amount of credit that you should be you should be issued. The more trade lines you get in the business credit world, the more that the amount of credit recommended is. So here's, for example, somebody that's being recommended for almost $7,000 worth of credit, and they have 2 accounts reporting. Here's somebody that's almost recommended for $16,000, $15,600, 3 accounts reporting. Here's somebody that's recommended for $65,000 in funding, and they have 4 accounts reporting. And here's somebody that's being recommended for $724,000 in credit with 15 accounts reporting. So congratulations. You just partially decoded a process that usually only medium to large businesses starting at $10 million and above figure out. You see, what happens is that larger businesses have CFOs. They have financially savvy people that know what I'm teaching you, and they help their businesses build credit so it separates from the actual business owner. So there's not that personal liability. The more credit the business builds, the more credits being recommended, the higher the limits are. But this is not what people want you to know. What credit issuers and lenders want you to know is that they want you to think that your time in business restricts this, that the revenues that you have restrict this. It's not the case. Primarily, business credit is built based on what's called payment experiences. A payment experience is what you see here, the reporting of an account to the reporting agencies. The more payment experiences you have, as I just showed you looking at snapshots of real reports, the higher the recommendation of credit. And as long as you're paying the bill as agreed, this person has a 96 score because they pay all their bills as agreed, then paying bills as agreed gets you a good score, which gets you the best rates and terms. And by adding more payment experiences, more accounts that report, that is the key to you getting higher recommendations of credit. And that's what helps you qualify for loans, credit lines, and business credit cards. So look, this is what every successful business in this country does. Here's a snapshot of Experian Smart Business Report for Facebook, where you can see they have 40 trade lines. The reporting of an account to Experian, they have 40. Dell has 80. Microsoft 131, Apple 138, Pilot Flying J 153. Publix 171 here in my backyard in Lakeland, Florida. These are the biggest privately and publicly owned companies in this country, and I'm showing you snapshots of the amounts of accounts that they have so you can see how they got as big as they got. Here's Walmart, 513 trade lines. So what's interesting about Walmart is this: 80% of what Walmart sells on their shelves, they buy using business credit. It's absolutely brilliant. It's the reason they've become the #1 retailer in the world. What they do is they go out and they buy Bounty paper towels from Bounty using business credit. Then they put those paper towels on their shelves. You come in and buy the paper towels and give Walmart money. Walmart takes your money and pays off the business credit that they use to borrow to get the paper towels. 80%, think about that. When you walk through Walmart, 8 out of 10 items that you see, they used business credit to buy, and then they're using your money to pay back the credit they used to borrow it. Their ability to borrow money this way is why they're the #1 retailer in the world. As a matter of fact, business credit is the #1 cash injection that Walmart has. It's even more money than stockholder value in the company. So when you look at the biggest companies that are out there, they all have done this. But here's what's interesting. Here's Mars Incorporated. Mars Incorporated has 22 accounts reporting. Okay, but here's another company that we just helped start to build business credit a few months in, 8 trade lines. Well, they have a third as many trade lines as Mars Incorporated that makes Mars bars. Here's another company that's again a few months in, 14 trade lines. So they have 70% as many trade lines as Mars Incorporated in less than 6 months, just because they decoded exactly what we're going to go through today. We helped them through the system, and by doing exactly what the big boys do, they're adding trade lines, their recommendation of credit increases, they pay their bills, their scores are good, and the more money they get, the more money becomes available. So this is one of the best kept secrets really in the business world for a reason, because credit issuers have relied for a long time on small businesses not knowing the information you're about to know. They've relied on only medium and large size businesses to have financial savvy people that know this, and only these financial savvy companies are the ones applying for credit while the small business owners are struggling for survival. But what you should see here is that even small businesses can come in, know the exact formula that the bigger businesses are following, follow the same formula, and have the same rewards of these high limit accounts that you're going to be able to access as well. So how do you do this? We've talked about what business credit is. We talked about the benefits of building business credit. So, well, now let's talk a little bit more about the actual steps to build business credit. Now, here's one of our clients, the samples, and they actually are the one you just looked at. They are success tax relief. So these are the ones with the 14 trade lines in less than 6 months. Here's a quote from them. We went to our bank to get a business line of credit and they turned us down. We got started with Credit Suite, set up our business credibly, and built our business credit. And after following the steps, we've now secured over 96,000 of business credit cards and just applied for the Platinum American Express and got approved instantly with no limit. Now we have 4 to 5 different companies call us every day trying to give us money, and that's a really good problem to have. We're excited, and if you don't have business credit yet, you should get involved with Credit Suite to have the same results we have. So here's what's interesting about the samples. They actually went in to get that loan, got denied. We found out the reason they got denied. We corrected it. Not only did they get the Amex, they turned around and got the loan too. Or they turned around and were able to get the financing from the bank as well. I said loan, but they actually ended up with a line of credit. So this is what's interesting. And I'm going to show you later, with your permission, if time permits, exactly where they messed up, that we see a lot of business owners mess up, that got them denied, that once we fixed, it got them approved. And then as they built their business credit, they were able to come in, as you will, and start getting this kind of result with American Express. So how do you do it? Well, it starts with your business itself, with the credibility. Lenders and credit issuers have a secret, unpublished set of approval standards you got to meet to get approved. Well, you get this, I get this, we understand, right? Because what happens is when we go to apply for a credit card, one of two things happens. We either get an automated approval, where it even sometimes, and a lot of times, even tells us the limit right there, or we get that dreaded message that we'll hear by mail in 7 to 10 days, and that's almost always a denial. So we understand that humans aren't underwriting these applications. There are manual approvals taking place. What we don't understand, what we don't know, is what this actual criteria is, or what you may not know at this point is what this criteria is. So the first thing we've got to do is decode this, because if you understand what these computers' algorithms are looking for to approve you, then you reach my goal for you, which is to get automated approvals quickly without going through any kind of manual underwriting approval. Or review. So these are these unpublished secret standards that credit issuers and lenders have, that you either meet them or you don't. If you meet them, you get approved. If you don't, then based on how many or which ones of these you don't meet, it oftentimes results in you getting denied. So the goal here is to get these automated approvals. If you don't meet the criteria, you get denied. If you do meet it, you get those automated approvals. So you've got to meet this criteria before you even think about coming in and actually getting approved. So the first step is to set up your entity, preferably a corporation or an LLC. Any entity can build business credit, okay? But a corporation or an LLC means that you and the business are separate from each other. The problem with being a sole proprietor, the problem with being a partnership, is that you are the business. So if the business ever gets sued, you can get sued. Now, I'm not an attorney, and you can ask an attorney about that, but that is the problem. When you and the business are one and the same, when the business gets sued, you get sued. But with a corporation or even an LLC, which isn't officially an entity per the IRS, but a classification you can choose, you limit your liability. So when your business gets sued, you're not getting sued as an individual, which means if you default on your credit, you can separate your liability. So you really should choose a corporation or LLC. They give you more legitimacy and they separate your liability. You want to stay away from business names that indicate you're in a high risk. Just the name itself of your business can click a trigger with credit issuers and lenders that indicates you're high risk and get you denied or make it more difficult to get approved. As later, I will show you a list of these type of industries that are high risk so you can make sure that your business is not one of them. You got to get your EIN number. A lot of people think that do understand the basics of business credit, that business credit is built under a DUNS number from Dun and Bradstreet. It's not true. It's built under your EIN number. If you have an EIN number, that's what business credit is built under, nothing else. So just like your social security number is built under your social, business credit's built under your EIN. So obviously you have to have an EIN to be seen as credible and also to start building business credit. You need to get any licensing you need to operate. Credit issuers and lenders do not want to lend or issue credit to illegally operating businesses. So if you have county, state, or industry license or certifications or bond requirements, you need to make sure you get those met. You need to make sure that all your online listings have the same information as what's on your application. The details have to be congruent. This is the #1 reason that business bank applications get denied. It's insane. 89% of business bank applications, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, 89% of those get denied. And the #1 reason is that when somebody goes in to apply and the bank starts the research process, the information they find on the application, the name, the address, the phone number of the business is not the same online as what they find on the application. At that point, the bank cannot verify that the applicant is the same one they're finding information out about online. Boom, instant denial. And what's insane about that is that people spend months gathering documents to apply for these loans only to immediately get denied because the information isn't congruent online. And I'm going to talk to you later about what you can do to make sure that your information is congruent online. Okay, your business email address and website. You cannot use a personal email address. You can't use Yahoo. You can't use Gmail. You need to use something that's congruent with your website. My website, our website is creditsuite.com. My email is info@creditsuite.com. So the email is congruent with the domain. Nowadays, you can go to GoDaddy and get a domain for 12 bucks, 17 bucks, or any other source you choose to. And GoDaddy gives you the email addresses that go with it. Those are the professional email addresses you want. You have to stay away from Yahoo or Gmail because those do not make you look credible. Beyond that, you also need a real physical business address. Now, if you're working from home, then you want to consider a virtual address. And I'll talk to you about later about how to get virtual addresses. Virtual addresses where you rent an address just to get mail at. You don't have to spend a lease or you don't have to spend money on a lease or anything like that. You're just getting mail at the actual location instead of actually having to pay rent. So that's what a virtual address is. Now, that's your second choice. Your third and last resort is a home address. Okay, but again, somebody that has an address at a virtual address that looks like they're in a high-rise building in Dallas, Texas, has a lot more credibility than you. So you want to choose that option if you can. Home address at last resort. You should know if you use a home address, some sources like Walmart will not approve you. The samples, I just showed you their testimonial. That was a problem, one of the problems they had. They used a home address and that was getting them denied with Walmart when they were trying to apply. Okay, you also should know that nowadays the business credit reporting agencies are putting street views of your credit report on the actual credit reports. So it's very common for you to have a picture of your house on your credit report if that's the address you're using to build business credit. What you never want to do is use a UPS address. What you never want to do is use a PO box. These are housed in a particular database that lenders and credit issuers cross-check, and if you're in them, this is one of the biggest reasons you're going to get denied. Do not use PO boxes or UPS. You are better to use a home address than a UPS address for your business. You also need to get a business phone number, not a home phone, not a mobile phone at all. And you need to make sure that business phone number is listed with 411. Now, you can go through Ring Central, you can go through Grasshopper, you can go through virtual or what's called voice over IP solutions. It doesn't have to be a physical business phone plugged into the wall, but you do need to stay away from mobile phones. You do need to stay away from cell phones. You need to get a toll-free number. Okay, nowadays you can go to Ring Central, any source like them, and again, what happens is you can spend 30 bucks a month, 15 to 30 bucks, get a phone number that is a toll-free number. That's a fax number as well. That's a great option because having a fax number on an application where it asks for it is a must. Now, will you get denied just because you have a fax number? Don't have a fax number? No. But does it make you look more credible if you have one? Yes. So think of it like this. The credit issuers and lenders have a series of checks in all this. If you get checks across all of them, then your chance of getting approved is really good. If you have checks on some of them and X's on the rest, then your chances of approval aren't so good. And that means some sources may still approve you, some sources may not. And a home address is a perfect example. You can get an Amazon account with a home address without a personal guarantee or credit check, but you cannot get a Walmart account without a personal guarantee and credit check. So if you don't meet these credibility requirements, you could oftentimes get denied for a lot of credit that you would be able to get approved for if you just met the actual requirements. So getting a phone number, getting it toll free, getting a fax number, and an essential, as equally important as getting an EIN, it's that important, is you need to get your phone number listed with 411. Here's why. You can't fake it. You can't go to 411.com and list your own phone number. It doesn't work that way. What happens is 411 picks up your business because they're finding you on Google, they're finding you on Yelp, they're finding you on Bing. So until your business is established and you're listed in all these places, well, then you won't have a 411 listing. And that's a barrier that I'm going to talk to you a little bit later and show you an easy way to get past that barrier where you can get the 411 listing even if you don't have one now. So once you set up the business credibly, once you taken all these steps, we've set up everything that makes you look legitimate. And the way I best describe this is everything on a business loan application is being used to scrutinize your business. Every item you fill in, think about it before you fill it in, because it will all add up to determine whether you get approved or whether you actually come in and get denied. So the second step is we need to get you set up with the reporting agencies. You need to see if you have a business credit report set up with them now. The reason for that, I've already showed you. Because if you don't have credit with them and they know you exist, they issue a credit report for you and give you a failing score. So you need to check with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian directly to pull a report or see if they actually have your business reporting now. Now, I'll show you later how to do this in one click where you can easily see if they have information about you now. Actually, one click, you enter your business name and state, and then it renders a decision and it tells you if you actually have a credit established. The second step, you need to get your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet. Now, if you go to get your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet online, you can go to Google and search how to get a DUNS number, and I'll show you later how to do it. Then what happens is that Dun & Bradstreet will call you, and Dun & Bradstreet will try to sell you a package for $800 to $2,000. And that package is for your DUNS number. It's to activate your credit profile and a few other things. So I'll talk to you later about how getting your credit profile activated or how to get your DUNS number, how to get those things without spending that $800 to $2,000. So it'll save you that money. Now, you also need to have a DUNS number and a Paydex score are just the beginning parts of building business credit. Okay, that's the starting thing. So you can't get a Paydex score from Dun & Bradstreet unless you have a DUNS number. The Paydex score is the most popular score used in the business credit world. It's lenders and credit issuers that are giving you money. It's the score they're looking at to determine if they should give you money and how much they should give you. Well, you cannot have a Paydex score unless you have a DUNS number, and you cannot have a Paydex score unless you activate your credit profile with Dun & Bradstreet. I will talk to you and show you later how exactly you get that credit profile activated. And if you have any negative items on the credit reports, you want to go directly to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian to fix those inaccuracies. And if that is something that you run into, I'll show you how a little bit later in one click you can actually get those things fixed. So now that you've done this, now what we've done is we've done the credibility. We made sure the business is set up legitimately and credibly. We then got you set up with the credit reporting agencies. We got maybe access to the reports. We fixed the inaccuracies. We got the DUNS number. We got the basics done with the reporting agencies. Now you're ready to move on and start getting real credit. Now, just like with consumer credit, you can't get approved for business credit unless you establish an initial credit profile and score. Here's where a lot of people make mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people make when building business credit. There's a series of steps you must follow to be successful. We talked about the first two. The third step, you've got to get credit with initial vendors that will give you, or initial credit issuers that will give you credit that reports to the reporting agencies before you start getting Staples, Office Depot, Amex, Walmart, Visa cards, MasterCards, all those. And here's why. Because if you think about it, if you walk into Staples at 18 years old with no credit profile and score established and apply for a consumer credit card, they will not approve you. But if you went and got 2 credit cards, then you walked into Staples and you had a score and had 2 trade lines, they would approve you. Same thing in the business world. You can't walk into Staples with no credit and get approved. You have to have some credit reporting before they'll actually give you a real approval. So it becomes very essential that you come in and that you actually build that business credit initially. Now, how do you do this? Well, there's actually a few different ways you could build your initial business credit. The first way is what I just told you. It's through Dun & Bradstreet's Credit Builder. It's that package they're going to sell you for $800 usually to $2,000. Okay, so what's nice about that is you could take accounts you already have and add it to your Dun & Bradstreet business credit reports. That's kind of cool. What's bad about that is that it only builds credit with Dun & Bradstreet. So even if you pay thousands of dollars to do this, you still have to follow the rest of the steps I'm going to show you, because you can't just build your Dun & Bradstreet credit profile and score and ignore Experian and Equifax. Think about that personally. If you only ever built your TransUnion consumer credit report and you never built Experian and Equifax, think about how problematic that would be. Every credit card issuer that looks at Equifax and Experian would never approve you. You could never get a mortgage. You could never get an auto loan because they're all looking at multiple bureaus. So you would have some credit established with one bureau, but it wouldn't get you very far. Same thing here. You can't just build credit with Dun & Bradstreet. You have to build it with Equifax Experian. It's equally important, the same as it is in the consumer world. The second thing is most trade lines can't be added. Dun & Bradstreet won't let you add rent, leases. They won't let you add any kind of bank credit card. They won't let you add any kind of utilities. So if you think about the bills you pay on a regular basis and you eliminate rent, utilities, you eliminate credit, you eliminate bank credit, well, there's not a lot of stuff you could even report with them. So this is the issue with paying them thousands of dollars to do it. It's really not the preferred way, but I want to give you all the information. So I want you to know the three ways. The second way requires good credit, but if you have a 680 FICO score or a guarantor that does, a guarantor being mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, friend, somebody that wants to invest in the business that has good credit, well, there's a shortcut here. You can get initial credit with Visa cards, MasterCards, cash credit cards. Now with these, you have to provide a personal guarantee. There is a personal credit check. It's based completely on personal credit quality. Don't worry if you don't have that. I'm going to talk about an option next that doesn't even look at consumer credit. But with this one, you can get up to $150,000. You can get it no doc, so there's no tax returns, no bank statements. You can get 0% financing, and you can take the cash out. Physically take the cash out of the cards at 0%. So it's a great way to get financing even as a startup business. But again, you've got to have good credit to be able to get it. They basically give you 5 credit lines that report to the business credit reporting agencies. So with this option, you could basically build business credit while getting a bunch of cash to get the business off the ground or grow as well. But it only works, again, if you have a 680 FICO score or higher. So these accounts give you those initial trade lines you need to move to the next step. Now, the third option here, and here's a look at one of those approvals where somebody got $61,400, one of our clients in Bloomington, Illinois, and then they used these to be able to grow the business fairly quickly because they were a startup. So for a startup to get 61 grand in cash in a few weeks, that's pretty tough to do. But this program can do that while helping you build business credit. So there's 2 benefits, and we'll talk about how to get that a little bit later today. Now, the third way is using what's called vendor credit. So in the consumer world, we're used to secured credit cards. That's how a lot of people start building credit. They use secured credit cards to actually build those credit reports and scores. In the business world, secured credit cards aren't very popular. Wells Fargo has one, but most of the, and they even require average credit to get approved, but most of the others don't offer secure credit cards. So instead, in the business world, we use what's called starter vendors. Okay, these are people who will give you credit initially, even if you have no credit, and they also report it to the business credit reporting agencies. Now, these initial accounts are not revolving. They offer terms like net 30, and net 30 means that if you use it and put a balance on it, you have 30 days to pay it. Now, you'll need to find vendors who do report to the business reporting agencies, and you also have to find sources who will approve you even if you have no prior credit. And we'll talk and I'll show you some of these now, and I'll show you a lot more of them later. So 5 of these accounts must be reporting to get revolving store credit. We've seen the same theme. Whether you use the unsecured option we just talked about with good credit or a guarantor to get 5 accounts, or you use this method to get 5 accounts, you still need to get 5 accounts. This is just a way to do it without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check, where personal credit doesn't matter. So some starter vendors are very hard to find because 97% of vendors don't report to the business credit reporting agencies. That's the problem fundamentally with business credit. When you go to Target and you get a consumer credit card, you know it's going to report on your credit report. You know it. It is. You go to Walmart, it's going to happen. But in the business world, 97% of vendors don't report to credit. So even if you have credit, we talk to a lot of people that think they have business credit established. We pull their business credit reports and there's nothing there. The reason is the people that they have credit with aren't reporting the credit. So you've got to find credit with people that are reporting the credit to the reporting agencies and also will approve you even if you have no prior credit. Some of those are Quill, Uline, Wells Fargo. So those are a few of those, and we'll take a look at some more as we kind of progress and go a little bit further. Granger is another. So Uline I showed you earlier, and I showed you the credit report that only had one trade and it was shipping. That was a Uline account. So that guy went from bad credit to good credit, high risk to low risk, just because he added Uline to his credit report. Now, some of them will make you place a few orders. You might have to place an order or two before the third order where they'll approve you. You may have to spend $100 at Quill, spend another $100 at Quill, then they approve you for the third account. If you have some time in business or you already have some credit established, then you could probably get around that. But these are credit issuers who will give you credit even if you have none, and then report it to the business credit reporting agencies. And here's a look at some actual approvals here. So here's somebody that just got approved as a Fuelman account, and they're also mentioning they got Uline, Quill, Granger, Quill, and Pilot. Okay, so what they did was they came in and got Uline, Granger, and Quill, all of which I mentioned. Then they moved on to Pilot and Fuelman. So they start to get accounts once they have these accounts reporting. Here's somebody that got their net 30 account through Uline. You can see the purchases they made. Here's somebody that just got a $5,000 approval net 30. What does that mean? Well, it means that they went to a place like HD Supply and they got a net 30 vendor account where they could have got revolving if they would have got some more accounts before going through HD Supply. So Staples and Office Depot will offer you net 30 accounts pretty soon in. But if you go to Staples or Office Depot with 6, 7, 8 accounts reporting, then they'll give you revolving credit. And revolving credit's what we really want. We really want a $10,000 limit where we could just pay $50 a month minimum if we need to. Here's somebody that got approved with Amazon, Lowe's, Corals, they all say heck no. So the reason I'm showing you this is because this isn't easy, okay? I don't want to convince you that all this is just as simple as what I may seem it to be. Here's somebody, Lamont, actually, he has a lot of success, but here's his failures. He applied at Amazon. He applied at Lowe's. He applied at a place called Corals for a fleet card, and they all said no. He said a word before no that I won't say. And then here's another person right below him, HD Supply, 5,000 approval, boom, they report. So here's some people that got vendor account, and here's other people that have failed to get the same kind of credit. So once you get the 5 accounts, then you need to move on to start getting revolving accounts. Now, I call this retail credit. I call this store credit because it's credit at most major retailers and stores that you may shop and do business with. So where do you shop for your business? I shop on Amazon. I shop at Staples. I shop at Office Depot. I shop at Walmart. All of those issue this kind of credit without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check, okay? You can also get fleet credit. Fleet credit is for vehicles, okay? It's called fleet credit because it's typically if you have a fleet of vehicles. It also works if you have a primary vehicle. This is where you can get fuel, gas. It's where you can get auto vehicle repairs, auto maintenance. So if you're driving your vehicle to an office every day, well, then you get fleet credit to put gas in it when the thing breaks down. You use fleet credit to be able to pay the repairs and the maintenance. Or if you're a trucking company, well, then this is the common sense, right? It's $600 to fill a big rig. I think. I mean, gas prices now could be going on $1,000. So why use your personal credit card when you can use business credit to fuel that big rig? Anybody that's ever watched the show Ice Road Truckers, which I love, their trucks always break down because they're in the Arctic where it's like 100 below. I mean, it's insane temperatures up there. So when they go to get those trucks fixed, they're using business credit to be able to pay for the maintenance, pay for the repairs. That's what fleet credit is. It gives you that ability. Now, here's some people. Here's somebody. I'm doing the happy dance. Got approved for $10,000 with Dell. We showed you earlier. This is a different JCPenney than what you saw earlier with 4,000 limit. Here's a different racetrack than we've seen. Here's a $76.40, $500 no personal guarantee Sunoco account. Here's a Lowe's account for $4,000. Here's a $8,400 account. And they're also talking about a Citgo approval for this. That's the 8,400. Love's for 5,000. DigiKey for 10,000. Okay, Home Depot for 1,000. Amazon 7,000. All no PG, which means all of this is revolving credit without the personal guarantee. The key here is in order to get this kind of credit, you have to have those 5 accounts reporting. Here's a $17,000 Shell account, Chevron account as well, okay, until between these two. Here's another third set of fleet credit cards from Lamont, same guy that had problems earlier getting approved. So this is retail credit. This is store credit. This is most major stores and retailers. This is where I see a lot of people mess up trying to build business credit. They don't look at this step as a step to get to the next one. Think about all the credit you can get here. This is where you start getting almost all the credit you need to fund your business, right? What kind of business are you in? Our business, we work out of an office. So if you think about the things we need desks, we need chairs, we need computers, we need office supplies, we need pens and paper and ink and things to hold the pens, and we need printers. Okay, every single thing I just mentioned to you, revolving store credit can get you, right? I can go to Office Depot and Staples to get the office supplies, the office furniture. I can go to IKEA to get the office furniture. I can go to Dell. I can go to HP or Apple to be able to get the computers. So everything you need for most kind of businesses, you can use this kind of revolving store credit to actually be able to get. Okay, so here's one of our clients, and here's a look at her actual approvals so far. 2000 at Sprint, Amazon 4,500, Tractor Supply and Exxon 5 grand, Fleet Card for 6 grand, BJ's, that's a cash card. That's a Visa card she can use anywhere for 7 grand, BP for 8, Lowe's for 10, Apple for 12.5, Shell for 15, Office Depot and Sears for 15, Costco for 20, Best Buy, Dell, both $40,000 individual approvals, Ford for $40,000, Roof Plus, a local roofing contractor, $75,000, PNC 100, Pilot Flying J 200. Update. Let me give you an update. When I did these approvals, this was about a month ago when I made this slide. I had Christine on my webinar last week. She's now got to 800,000 plus in business credit. She just got a $300,000 credit line with one company. She's got another PNC account for 50,000, and she just went to Ford and qualified for $180,000 in financing at Ford. So that's an update from where she is. When I first did this, she was about, I don't know how much money there is here in approvals. She was less than 500. She's now well over 800,000 on her way to $1 million, and she's now building business credit for 2 businesses without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. Gives you an idea of what's actually possible. And you can see here, here's her holding a handful of her credit cards, saying, for those of you who say business credit without a PG is not possible, these are just quote unquote a few of my cards. This does not include what I'm waiting for to be shipped, nor what I have with my other business. So it can be done, but yes, you'll have to eventually do some financing with the PG down the road, but a good majority, if you follow Ty Crandall's program, you'll get what you need. Okay, here's a truck similar to the one she's looking at, and here's a plot of land that she's looking at buying. They literally, business went from struggling to even be able to pay its bills with one truck to they are now finalizing the deal this month to buy a trucking company with 50 trucks on the road. And she did it using solely business credit. Okay, she used business credit to go from one truck, not even be able to make it, to now they're looking at that kind of vehicle. That's the land that they're buying, and they're also coming in and they're closing on a deal for 50 trucks using business credit, to give you an example of what's possible. Okay, so the next step is you get cash credit. When you have 10 to 14 accounts reporting to the business credit reporting agencies, then you start to get Visa cards, MasterCards, American Express, or what we refer to as cash credit. Okay, and again, these credit approvals have about 10 to 100 times higher than what you'll find with consumer credit. So here's a $9,000 Amex. Here's a $3,000 Amex. Here's a $20,000 Amex, all without a personal guarantee and credit check. Here's more. PNC for 12, Flagstar for 10, 22,000 for Chase Inc., 15,000 for Citi, 10,000 for Chase, 8,000 for Inc., 7,000 for Unpak, 50,000 Amex, 10,000 Bank of America, 24,000 Amex, $50,000 Amex here, to give you an idea of cash credit. Here's one of our clients, Marlon. I was looking for a fast way to get money to grow my consumer credit business after failing to get approved for loans in several banks. I discovered Credit Suite after getting initial vendor accounts, which we just talked about how to do. I continued applying and getting all types of credit, and now have over 100 business credit cards in my wallets, totaling over $1 million in total available credit. I have fleet credit that I use for auto repairs, fuel, and I have cash credit cards with most major banks, including Bank of America and Wells Fargo. I secured almost all the credit without a personal credit check and without a personal guarantee. And I've been able to get loans with many sources, including PayPal and Cabbage with low rates and loan amounts over 100 grand. And you can see Marlon, this left one is it's a screenshot from an interview I did with him. I interview a lot of our clients about their success. This is him holding up his no personal guarantee credit account, so you could actually see what it looks like to have the kind of credit he gets. Will you get this kind of result? It depends on you. Business credits, how much you get all depends on how much you apply for. That's what it comes down to. Marlon can have $2 million if he wants to apply for $2 million, but he has to have a need to get that much credit to use, right? So, somebody that's starting a business doesn't have a need for $1 million worth of credit. They're never going to spend $1 million. But as your business grows, you have a need for greater amounts of money. And that's where Christine is, right? Christine's up to $800,000, $1 million in credit, but she's buying a trucking company with 50 trucks. When you have 50 trucks on the road, you need $1 million worth of credit. She needs $40,000 fleet credit cards because she's got to put fuel in every one of those trucks. So that's why the bigger your business gets, the more need you have for credit. These business owners are using the credit to fund the business. And then in doing so, they're able to come in and actually be able to get more credit as they continue to grow their business. So if we still have some time, and again, if you have questions here, then I will, and I know a lot of you are answering questions. I will answer all of your questions in the end. I'm going to stick around and do a Q&A in the end. I still have some time here because we're going to 6:30. Is it okay with you? I want to ask your permission. Is it okay if I show you how this really works in real life? We've talked about the concept. We've talked about the theory. I've mapped out the steps, but I want to show you how Marlon did it, how Thelma did it, how Christine did it, the actual system. So if that's okay, type in the word yes in the comments because I want to be respectful of your time. If you want to wrap up early, we wrap up early. If you want to actually see the system that they used and how to get the DUNS number without paying and the 411, and if you want to be able to do those things, and do me a favor, just type in yes in the comments so I know that I'm on the right track because I don't want to, like I said, okay, so looks like we have time. Looks like you guys are okay with that. So let me go ahead and end this show and I'll physically show you how this process works. So this is something we call the Business Finance Suite, the same system that Christine and Marlon and Thelma and the samples all use to build business credit. And I'll show you exactly how they did it. And I talked about a lot of things I was going to show you later. Let me show you all those things right now too as well while we're diving into this. So the Finance Suite is basically a step-by-step process that just more in-depth maps out exactly what I told you. What's cool about this is that you can basically navigate in English and Spanish. So if I come down here and choose Espanol, then you can see all the wording and everything in the system changes to Spanish, which is cool for you. Or if you're selling this as a service like Marlon does, like the samples do, then if you have Spanish speaking customers, they can come in and navigate this in Spanish as well. So you start building business credit again with those credibility steps that we talked about, making sure the business is set up credibly, getting the business name set up, the address, the entity. Okay, so we talked about those high risk industries. Well, in the Finance Suite, we actually list and update and tell you what those high risk industries are. And here's a quick look at them. So you can see, and this changes all the time. You take a screenshot, but this changes pretty much daily of what's considered to be high risk. So dry cleaners and mobile manufacturing home sites and X-rated, these are all bail bonds. These are all kind of a quick view of high risk industries. So you can access high risk industries. You can come in, you can search Secretary of State records and get your business set up, because that's what you do is you set up your business right through the Secretary of State. You can do all of that here. Now it's pretty simple. If you have a business name, you just simply click yes and move on. If you click no, then you basically can come in and access that information. Or you click resources, you can find people like My Corporation who will even help you through that process. But again, our business advisors help all of our clients through this process. They call 5 times in the first 5 days. They call weekly after that. So our business advisors help our clients through this, so they don't need to use LegalZoom and My Corporation and all these things to actually set it up. You got to get that business address set up. Now, we talked about, I would show you some virtual address sources below. We use Alliance. You can also use Regis, so there's some sources there. Okay, a lot of times our clients get, or not a lot, our clients always get special discounts because we have a special affiliate program with these guys. So there's some virtual addresses. You set up your entity through the Finance Suite. You set up your business phone and 411 listing. Now, somebody mentioned in comments as well, we use a company called List Yourself to list your business with 411. If you want to be listed with 411, you don't need to wait it out when you're working with us. You just simply click yes, you want it. You enter the phone number, and we list the business with List Yourself. Here's how important this is, guys. We pay this for our clients. It's $400 a year. It's $360 actually. It's $30 a month. We pay list yourself for every one of our clients because what we found was when we told clients to do this, they just weren't doing it and they were getting denied all over the place. So we just took that off of them. We pay for this to make sure it gets done. It's that important. You can pay list yourself as well as we do. It's $360 a year to be able to do it. And then one click, yes, you want it. You enter your phone number, you get listed with 401. Of course, website, email setup, EIN, business licensing, bank account setup, all those type of things we help you do in step one. For example, you might not know that you have 3 types of credit: consumer credit, business credit, and what's called bank credit. And these training videos walk you through a lot of things like that, like how the bank credit system works. So you know how to set up your bank account. And you can see here I have Spanish on, so it's a Spanish closed caption. I can turn that off. And then in doing so, you could basically come through and make sure that you understand how the bank credit score works to maximize how much you're getting when you're applying at the banks. So once you've done this, once you set up the credibility as we talked about, then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to come in and actually establish your business credit report. You're going to set up your business. And we talked about this as well, getting set up with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian. So do you have anything with reporting with them now? Do you have a failing score? Well, in our finance suite, what's nice is in one click, instead of going digging around with the reporting agencies, in one click you can set up your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet, and in one click you can also search Equifax and Experian to see if your business actually has credit now. So it makes it easy. So you can get your Dun & Bradstreet right here in the finance suite without having to pay thousands of dollars to do it. And I'll show you in step 3, the next step, how you activate the credit profile. You can also come in and see if the reporting agencies know you exist now. So if I come in here and I type in our name, Credit Suite, Florida, my company, search, then what happens is it tells me right here above pricing what the outcome is. Credit Suite has trade lines. So this is what happens. One of 3 things happens. Either no result pops up when you do the search, or it pops up your company with no trade lines, or it shows that you have trade lines. So this is that simple free search just to know if the reporting agencies know you exist. And as I mentioned, you also get your DUNS number here, and one click takes about 10 minutes to set up with Dun & Bradstreet, but it saves you, it'll cost you 10 minutes whether you're using us or not. It just saves you that $800 to $2,000. That gets you your DUNS. We still have to get your credit profile activated, which we do right here in step 3. So once we set up the business credibly, we did that setup with the reporting agencies. Remember, the next steps to get initial credit. So here we actually come in and get you the actual vendor credit. These are all vendors that offer business credit. Some of them offer, some of them I haven't zoomed in, so it looks a little weird there. Some of them offer phone. One of them, our vendors offers a phone service where they actually set up a phone line for you to get like a virtual phone. They give you a $7,500 credit line. That's what reports in your credit report, $7,500, and the phone's only $24. But what's nice about this is that we're telling you who they report to, and here's why that's important. Remember when I told you about payment experiences and that you need 5? The payment experience is the reporting of an account, Quill, to the reporting agency, DMB. So when you know that accounts report to multiple reporting agencies, then it counts as multiple payment experiences. So if Quill reports to DMB and Experian, then that counts as 2 payment experiences because it reports to 2 reporting agencies. So why that's important is it saves you time. What I like to say is this: you could take what you're going to learn here and do it on your own and build your business credit. And it'll take you years to get through the hurdles that you will experience, but you could still succeed. What our system is about is getting you the fastest results. And one of the ways that we do that is by teaching you who they report to so you can get fewer accounts, more payment experiences, and go through the process quicker. Makes sense, right? We also list what the company, the product sells. You can apply in one click. And then you can also come in here and you can see exactly what's involved to get approved, i.e. the underwriting guidelines. Every source here gives you the underwriting guidelines, and here's why. If you don't know that it may take you 3 orders, or that they won't report initial order for 90 days, or that you need to have these things to get approved, then you're not going to be successful. So by teaching you who they report to, giving you a quick way to apply, listing the underwriting guidelines, putting this in color indicating you can qualify, by listing the sources in order of tiers that you should apply for here, these are all safeguards to make sure you're only ever applying for credit you know you can get approved for. If you don't have underwriting guidelines and all these safeguards we have, the only way you can succeed is trial and error. You apply for Staples, you get denied. You apply for Office Depot, you get denied. You go to Amazon, you get denied. You get approved at Dell. Then you go apply for a bunch more accounts, you get denied. Then you find the ones that will approve you. So what's nice in that section, when it's nice when it comes to vendor accounts, and I just showed you quite a few of them, including Uline, Quill, Granger. What's nice about that is that we create our own reported accounts. We help companies get the ability to report. So because of that, nobody really knows about them because, they're not out in the forums and stuff. They got the ability to report because we help them report. That's why our clients can get SEO services. They can get websites built. They can get phone line services. They can get gas cards, all without a personal guarantee and a credit check, and use those to build the initial business credit. It makes it easy to take all those vendors that are really hard to get and puts them in one place with the underwriting guidelines to make it easy for you to actually come in and get them. Now, next thing you got to do is you got to monitor your business credit reports. You can get it from Dun & Bradstreet for $159 a month. It's about $50 a month for Experian. Now, our system here teaches you how to read the business credit reports, and here's why it's important. You have about 5 scores on your business credit reports. So you need to know what these reports look like, how they work, how the scores work. By doing that, you can maximize your business credit reports and scores. Okay, so for example, as you saw earlier, as we showed you, you can't, if you come in and you get your business credit reports, you're not going to see the actual name, Uline, and Quill on the credit report. You'll see categories, like you'll see shipping, you'll see office supplies. So knowing these things become very important. Now, credit monitoring can be very expensive. Experian, it's about $50 a month. D&B, it's about $159. So it's $210 a month to even get credit reports with Experian and D&B. But here's what's cool. Okay, instead of you paying the $49 a month, the $50 and the $159 through Experian or through D&B, you can simply come right into here to go to credit report dashboard, and our system actually integrates with NAV. So you can get your NAV business credit reports to see everything that's on Experian and D&B. Experian, here's your score. Here's the stats. Here's where you compare to other businesses. Here's the information about your business. By the way, this is Pixar's credit report. This is what Pixar's credit report really looks like. Okay, here's factors influencing your score. Here's summary data. Here's all your trade lines. Here's judgments, tax liens, trade accounts, UCC filings. Okay, you can also come in here and you can look at the accounts you have reporting. So you can see all the accounts you have reporting and the payment history on every account you have on Experian and Dun & Bradstreet. You can see public filings. You can even set up alerts when things change on your business credit report. You can easily come in and set up alerts. You also do the same thing with Dun & Bradstreet. You get your score. Okay, you get your DUNS number, or you can see your DUNS number. You can see all your summary data, lawsuits. You can see all your accounts and your public filings and alerts. Here's what's brilliant about this. You get everything you need to build business credit with Experian and DB, your full reports, your full scores, but instead of paying them $210 a month, through the finance suite, it's only $24 a month. It's cheaper than anywhere else you'll get it. It's a 90% discount on credit monitoring. So it saves you money because when you're trying to build business credit, if you're spending $210 a month just for Experian and D&B credit monitoring, which you will be if you go to D&B Experian Direct, well, that'll cost you $2,500 a year. Through the finance suite, it's less than $300 and you're getting access to monitor your business credit reports. And of course, you have to do this, whether you use us or not, because you have to see the trade lines reporting on your credit report to know when to get to the next tier of credit. Once you have the initial 5 accounts reporting, then you move on and start getting more credit. Like I said, almost all retailers offer business credit. We've seen Ryder, 7-Eleven, Meijer. Now, look at this. These are grayed out because our finance suite indicates that I don't have enough trade lines yet, which I assure you I do, but it thinks I don't have enough trade lines based on the data it has in its system to indicate that I can get approved for these. So it grays out what you can't qualify for. That way you're only ever applying for credit you actually can get approved for. Lowe's, Staples, AutoZone, Macy's, Budget, Fleet Cards, Conoco, Exxon, and I can go on and on. Okay, so as you get more of these accounts, then you move to the next tier and you continue, as I've showed you, to get more credit. We tell you how many accounts you need to get approved at each level. We gray out, as you saw, what you can't get. We map it out in tiers. And again, every one of these, we list the actual underwriting guidelines and who they report to. This account's more valuable than another because it reports to two. It's two payment experiences. So by getting this, it expedites your business credit building. It's that simple. We actually list exactly what it takes to be able to get approved, so you know what it takes to get approved with and without a personal guarantee. So you can get the Walmart, you can get the Tractor Supply, you can come in here and you can know exactly what's required, and you can basically come in and apply and get approved directly through Walmart. So again, Sears, Amazon, BP, Sinclair Gas, Conoco, I mean, almost all major retailers offer business credit, and our finance suite integrates with most of them. You can get cell phones through Sprint and Amazon, car financing through Ally Financing, gas cards, as we talked about. Here's MasterCards and Visa cards that you're able to get approved for. Again, knowing these sources is worthless. What matters is knowing the underwriting guidelines for the sources. Knowing all this information of how to apply and get approved that only comes from underwriters, that's what takes years of business credit building and just quite simply condenses it down into only months. It makes it easier for you. And again, there's a lot of non-reporting accounts too that still have value. So for example, PNC Bank doesn't report, but they give you credit. Here's American Express, AT&T. Okay, here's PayPal and Ford Financing and T-Mobile and Sprint, et cetera, Apple. Now, the other cool thing about this is that if you want to know how much your business is worth as it's growing, well, you click business valuation. Now, this doesn't usually come. It's usually a bonus that we offer, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later. And you can actually type in information, as you see here, and you can actually see the value of your business. So as your business grows, anytime you want to check and do a spot check to see how much your business is worth, you can come in and do a spot check to actually see how much your business is worth. The other cool thing is you can also come in here to finance my business, and you can basically open up all kinds of financing. Remember I told you about those unsecured credit lines for 150 grand to help you build business credit? Those are right here. We list the underwriting guidelines to get approved. So the way the finance suite works is it basically ties in with over 1,000 lenders and every legitimate business funding program to get you money based on your business strengths. So let me show you what that means. If you have good credit or a guarantor that has good credit, then you can get up to $150,000 in no-doc financing. If you have consistent revenue, well, then you can get private equity financing. You can get SBA alternative financing. You can get revenue financing. Okay. So based just on your revenue, we have sources that will give you credit lines of 100 grand with no credit check. Does it work? I have one. Our business has a $100,000 credit line with no credit check, and we can help you through the exact same process to be able to get approved because we work with over 1,000 lenders to do it. Maybe you have some kind of collateral, you have equipment, you have 401k, maybe you have stocks or bonds or account receivables or purchase orders or commercial real estate. Any of that kind of collateral can be used to get you financing too, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5% rates, or you can get financing to buy commercial real estate, to buy equipment, to get the inventory you need. So because of this, we have over 35 core funding programs that will get you money based on your business strength. By that, I mean, do you have cash flow, credit, or collateral? If you have good credit, collateral, or cash flow, that opens up loan options for you. You have finance officers that help you through every step of getting approved, getting funded, plus you get discounts on all the funding because we do so much volume with these lenders that they give us discounts on pricing we give to you. So our finance officers help negotiate the deal, get you the best price, get the deal placed with the lender, get the deal bought, and then we don't charge you anything on the funding. That's just part of what we do as the finance suite. And you still have to pay normal interest rates to the lenders and things like that. And we've got interest rates as low as 1 or 2%. The credit line we have that required no credit check, the interest rate's 4.8% is my credit line limit or interest rate. So it's the same thing we help you get. So basically you have one place and one team that helps you get all financing. So as your business grows, we help you get revenue financing, stuff like this in the beginning. Then we help you get term loans, line of credit. Then we help you even get SBA loans. So you never need to look for funding again because we help you with all aspects of that, as well as our business credit team helps you with all aspects of building business credit. Now, if you like all this and it makes sense, you can actually offer all this as a product and service too. You can offer the finance suite as a product and a service as well. And do so get paid. You'll make about $2,000 to $3,000 per sale on average per what our clients do. And we give you everything you need to run your entire business. It's like a franchise without the franchise fee. Okay, so you get all this. You can add clients in here to be able to build their business credit and get financing. You can manage sales reps in here. You can monitor all your clients, turn off their username, password, see all the information they entered in the system. You can come in and you get almost an endless supply of resources. You can have sales rep training. You even get all your training to be able to sell business credit financing as well. So through our partner training, you can come in and learn, for example, how to sell the finance suite. And then in doing so, we teach you through video training, through a 7-step training process, exactly how you come in and how you build business credit, or how you offer business credit financing through these videos. So we come through and we teach you everything you need. And you have more resources than you'll ever know what to do with. Free ebooks, guides, things like that to all help you be successful. To give you an idea, if you are interested in offering business credit financing, these are all professionally done resources, right? So this is all, for example, really high level content that's all white label. It's done in your name with your branding and your logo and all those different types of things. So we've got to cut. You can come in here and be able to access ebooks and emails and access all these type of resources, all professionally done, all white label that you're able to do in your name if you're interested in offering it as a product and service. So pretty elaborate system to be able to say the least. Now let me kind of go back to where I was here. So that being said, a lot of different stuff we've kind of went over, and we've still got some more stuff to kind of go over. So here's a case study of one of our clients who came in and originally got approved was looking for $417,000 to get a tax lien paid off. And since we combined multiple forms of financing and business credit, we ended up getting $1.5 million, over $1.5 million, 1.52. And he actually ran for office and expanded his office too. He's now got 2 offices. So that's what's possible, but only when you can actually come in and combine multiple different kind of financing. So look, you're watching this webinar on probably a tablet, computer, or phone, because you're probably looking for the easiest and fastest way to get money to grow your business. And you probably already struggled to get money on your own, and you're just looking for the fastest, easiest way to actually succeed. And hopefully by coming through this, my goal is that you leave with a bunch of information that'll help you through this process. Now, that being said, if you're interested in working with us directly to do that, well, we help you as really quickly in 6 months or less to get to the end, get vendor credit immediately, store credit in about 60 days, and cash credit in about 4 to 6 months. We help you get the business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your SSN through our top-rated system. We've helped over 15,000 people today and get funding to grow your business. You can do it in English and or Spanish. Okay, you're getting able to get our technology that helps you get your entity set up and credibility set up and helps you set up your address the right way, your email, your website, the EIN number. We help list your phone number with 411, saving you that 360 bucks. So you help you set up your bank account, merchant account. So you have bank references, which is often asked for as you apply for business credit. Your licensing, everything you need to set up your business credibly. You're able to come in and get credit set up with all 3 credit reporting agencies. When you get those vendor accounts in step 3, that's what activates your credit profile. So we help you get your DUNS number and activate your credit profile with Dun & Bradstreet without spending the thousands of dollars with them to do it. We help you dispute and fix inaccuracies with all 3 credit reporting agencies. Although I didn't show you that, I will show you that during the Q&A. I maybe even do that here on the side, so I can come in and show you exactly how that works. So we help you in one click do that as well. You're accessing the largest supply of actual vendors to make it easy to start building business credit. We actually offer the largest selection of store credit and retail credit, the fleet credit cards, the Visa cards, the MasterCards. Almost everybody struggles to get the Visa cards and the MasterCards because there's not a lot of places out there that offer them, but we have all those up to date because we have a data team that's all they do is do this kind of researching. You can't call Staples and get their underwriting guidelines. It doesn't work that way. But what you can do is eventually get to underwriters that will give you the details. We have relationships with those underwriters that help with that. Auto vehicle financing, all with no personal credit check, all with no personal guarantee. And by the way, in the finance suite here in step 4, here's how you fix inaccuracies. In one click, you come through. You access your credit reports with the 3 reporting agencies, and in one click, you can dispute and update your credit reports with all of the actual 3 credit reporting agencies, which is pretty cool. You get cash flow financing to get money based on cash flow only. You get collateral-based financing with rates low as 2%. That $150,000. I don't know if you can get this or not. You have a chance to qualify if you have the collateral, cash flow, or credit to get approved. We have private money, alternative SBA, venture capital, term loans, lines of credit, all available for you. With our partner program, we're giving you basically a business in a box, basically a franchise, without paying a hefty franchise fee. You're getting the training, the contracts, the sales scripts. You're getting details to host seminars and webinars like this, your own website, which I'll show you a little bit later, 3 press releases. You're getting PowerPoints. You're getting ebooks, you're getting a 12 months worth of emails and social media posts. So all of that, 10 webinars as well. You're coming in, you're getting articles. Everything is available in Spanish, flyers, direct mail, direct funding, the ability to manage sales team, monitor clients. This is the website you get. You can see it's pretty elaborate. So it's not just some basic website. We're giving you all the information to be able to actually come in and offer business credit financing as a service. We're even giving you testimonials on your website. So you can get case studies, you can get actual business credit results like I showed you, where actual people can see the results on your credibility page. You can see actual testimonials that are available as well, and they're all video. So you can come in, and this is the kind of website that you're getting when you're actually offering business credit financing as a service. So maybe this makes sense for you or not. Maybe you want to take the information and run. That's cool. It just takes you a lot longer to succeed when you don't know how to get approved with each individual source and what happens when you run into problems along the way. So if you're interested in working with us, then if you're getting started through Friday, then I'm going to give you a chance to do so. Get some really cool bonuses I think you're going to love at a cool discount. Now, if you go to our website right now, you'll see our top plan with payments is over $7,000. But as part of this webinar special, because you hung out with me for an hour and a half, then you have two different options to get started. One, you just want to get business credit financing. You have no interest in being a partner. You have no interest in reselling it or offering it as a program and a product or service. You can get started with 7 payments of $497 or 1 payment of $24.97. Is that too rich? Don't worry. Call us. Don't not enroll with us because of money. Keep in mind, you're going to spend $210 a month for credit monitoring the first year without us. It's $2,200 more in credit monitoring you're going to spend the first year, whereas with us, it's only $2,500 to get started. You can even break it down into payments. And if the payments of $497 aren't low enough, then let us know. Tell us, communicate with us. We'll work out some kind of special arrangements on payments that will make more sense. Or maybe you want to offer it as a product and service. If you do, then offer 2 is you come in and get our VIP program where you offer business credit financing as a service. It's $100 more a month for 7 months, or you pay $34.97. What's nice about this is you're making $2,000 to $3,000 in profit per sale. So if you know 2 other business owners that may be interested, those 2 sales would cover your enrollment and also make you a profit. And that's the question. If you want to offer this as a product and service, you're either in an industry like financial services where it makes sense to, or you just know people that would be interested in something like this. Okay. Now keep in mind, it's time versus money. You're going to spend about 18 to 24 months to do this on your own. With us, it takes 6 months or less. Why is that? What happens when accounts don't report on your business credit reports? What happens if you don't get your DUNS number in 2 weeks like you're supposed to? How many accounts do you need to get a Dell account or Apple or Amazon or Shell? What's the little intricacies with Uline and Quill that get you an approval versus denial? Those are the things that with this teaching, I've got you on the right direction, but those are the things you run into. But if you're spending 18 months longer, how much money is that going to cost you? Also keep in mind that working with us, you're saving a bunch of money. We're helping you get set up with Dun & Bradstreet without paying. We're helping activate the credit profile. You're getting 411 without spending the 360. To get a business valuation costs you thousands of bucks with us as part of our system. So it saves you a bunch of money along the way. So if you're interested in getting started, don't forget we will customize a payment plan for you. We work with services like Fundbox Pay. They will even have a service where for 60 days, you don't have to make a payment. And then their payments are as little as like $200 and something a month if you can get approved with them. And that's based on how you manage your bank account. We work with them. We're a beta program. We're the biggest affiliate that they have and the biggest customer they have in this beta rollout. We can help you secure business financing. We can help you get the money to enroll. So don't let not having the money be a barrier to enrolling. Keep in mind, we have these solutions to make sure it's affordable for you to do so. And it's risk-free. If you get full access to everything with even your first payment, so the minute you make payments, you make even your first payment, we give you access to everything, giving you massive upside potential because we know that this is something that you're going to love. So how do you get started? It's simple, creditsuite.com/webinar. Okay, and I'll show you exactly what this looks like at creditsuite.com/webinar. This is the page. You'll see it counts down to Friday. Here's the core package I talked to you about. If you just want business credit financing, you can hover your mouse above it and get details of every one of these things, although I've already shown them to you. You can see the bonuses and you can see the discounts here too. You can see the discount and you can see the discount all the way through on the pricing and the bonuses. So this one to the right, VIP, is to be a partner. Core here is just to enroll to get business credit and financing for your business. Now, there's some bonuses I wanted to make sure that you get access to too. First, you're going to spend 30 minutes with our advising team. I want you to get the most right from the beginning. They'll walk through what step 1 with you. They'll answer any questions. They'll help you all the point from setting up or verifying your business all the way through. 2, We're going to get you that credit monitoring for Dun & Bradstreet Experian I told you about. Everybody doesn't have access to that, but it's $24 a month. It saves you $2,200 a year. Guys, it's just simple math. I'm going to save you $2,200 a year to work with our team and our technology in a proven system that'll take years down to only months with this. And I'm going to save you $2,200 and you can do it for $2,500. So basically what you save, and then you add the 411 and everything else, it's actually even cheaper to work with us. And we're giving you a free business valuation, not what you saw. What you saw was a preliminary valuation. We are going to give you a 28-page report that shows in depth how much your business is worth, how much it is worth compared to other businesses in your industry, how you compare to other businesses in your industry, other things you need to work on to make your business worth more. That's through biz equity, and something like that costs about $2,000 or $1,000 even with our affiliate discount. And a ready to publish book. You become a published author. It's my book. If you go to Amazon and type in business credit or Ty Crandall, you're going to pull up my books. I give you the book so you can become a published author to give you more credibility, especially if you're in the financial services space. And if you don't think that what we're giving you is worth every penny of what you paid, or that you'll be able to make many times what you spent, we give you your money back, 100% of it. That's what we give you, 100% of your money back. If you don't think that what we have is worth every penny, it's that simple. Guys, look, if you do research on us, you'll see that we've never had a complaint in the lifetime of our business. And here's why. Because if you don't want to be a client, if you get in and don't like this, we give you your money back. We deal with thousands and thousands of clients. We do not have time to work with people that are not serious about building their business credit. If you're serious, then you found a home and we're going to help you get ridiculous results quickly. But if you're not, then we give you your money back. It's that simple. If you look at our credibility on our website, you'll see that we are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. We've never had a complaint. We are not accredited. What this means is it means we don't pay the Better Business Bureau any money. Any business that's accredited pays them every single year about $1,000 a year to be accredited. You may know this. We're an A+ without being accredited because we've never had a complaint in the lifetime of our company. If you go and look at our other reviews like Trustpilot, for example, you'll see real reviews. We don't block them out. We're not allowed to. Everything you see is what you get. You can see these are 3 days ago, 4 days ago. Okay, this is May 15th. So you can see how recent these are. These aren't just stars. These are in-depth reviews of what's going on, and you can get a real idea of what the experience is like. If you go to our website and almost any other page, or actually you can even go to our So Tell Us reviews. And our So Tell Us reviews as well will come in and we'll show you all the reviews that we get from other people as well. Let me go to credibility and look at So Tell Us. You can find testimonials here, video testimonials, ton of them. You can find all kinds of actual reviews from real people telling all about their experience, and on and on and on and on. Okay, so you can see that our credibility completely speaks for itself. So to recap, you get your own finance suite, 24/7 access, mobile friendly, so you can build business credit on your mobile phone or mobile device. You're getting concierge business credit building support. We'll call you 5 times the first 5 days, weekly after that. We'll help you get through the process so you don't get stuck. It's how we expedite the results. The free DUNS number, credit profile activation with D&B, Experian, and Equifax, which saves you $1,500 plus. Experian Smart Business Access, which I showed you those snapshot reports, but you actually can pull those snapshots and not have to pay for it, which costs $600. The largest supply of starter vendors, revolving credit, the unsecured financing, finance officer support, the 411 listing, the hard to find cash sources, the Visa card, the MasterCard, how to dispute inaccuracies with all three. Okay, fleet credit with no personal guarantee credit check, auto vehicle financing, credit monitoring, which saves you $2,200 a year, cash flow, collateral based financing. And with our partner program, you're basically getting the equivalent of basically your own franchise. Without paying the franchise fees. Everything you need to market and sell, so flyers and videos and webinars, PowerPoints, basically everything you need to be successful. And then don't forget our butter bonus, 30 minutes with our team, no cost. And again, everything else with advising is included with this, the credit monitoring, the business valuation, the ready to publish book. And again, you have the 30-day money back guarantee. If you don't think what we have is worth every penny, we give you the money back. So not only is it cheaper to work with us to get results substantially faster, but you also get 100% of your money back if you're not interested. If you don't think we'll give you the money back, then like I said, search your reputation. Our reputation will tell you differently. We've never had a complaint ever. We've helped 15,000 people build businesses, and you can look online and we only had one complaint ever. It was from a non-client. Guy never paid us. He wanted us to give him our services for free in exchange for him giving us a testimonial. And we told him we don't pay for testimonials. We won't do it. He threatened to ruin us online, and he left us a bad review on Ripoff Report. What's interesting, if you find that, is look at all the people that responded to it well before we even did. So we've never had an actual paying client ever complain with us online. So I'm going to open this up with I'm going to open this up for questions. I'm going to sit and make sure that any questions that you guys have are answered. And Michelle says, will I have any issues if I have tax liens? No, you will not, because tax liens will not show up on your, if they're, well, Michelle, let me ask you, are they consumer or business? If they're consumer tax liens, it won't affect it because we don't pull your consumer credit reports. If your business tax lien, the question is it on your business credit reports? If it is, we'll help you figure out if it is, and we'll help you through the disputing of that information as well. Somebody asked, can you show more about the partner program? Sure. The partner program, to look at it, here's our partner resources, our resource library. We're basically giving you everything you need to be successful. So coaching calls or past coaching calls we've done for clients, contracts and agreements. You can get a finance commitment letter for somebody to buy the finance suite once you get them financing. So you can help them get financing. And then you can also come in and you can get paid on the financing you get them. We basically split the fees for you on financing, contracts, agreements. You're also coming in and getting marketing articles, ebooks, emails. So for example, when we look at emails, here's the actual emails you get. We already give you the emails. We even have an ultimate program where we set up the emails for you, give you access to a CRM. We set up everything and automate your entire business. But you can see here that here's all the emails. So you can see the quality of the emails. This is 69 pages. So you can see that this one is about Facebook, for them to like you on Facebook. Here's business failure statistics and why people need to know that it's because of money and not being able to access money, how the Paydex score works. So you can kind of get a feel here for the actual quality of the resources you're getting. And again, all these are professionally done. So you're getting flyers, PowerPoints, press releases, basically everything you'd need to be successful offering business credit financing. So for example, here's an actual flyer that you can get as part of it. And again, all of this is white label, all of this is customizable. So you can see all the resources are professionally done, making it really easy. And again, we also have these resources in Spanish as well. So if you cater to the Spanish market, then you can come in here and you could choose Spanish resources. And Spanish resources, we basically give you access to a lot of the resources, flyers, PowerPoints, etc. Here's that same flyer in Spanish, as a matter of fact, in Spanish as well. So everything is done in Spanish. And so you can see that this just gives you everything you basically need to offer business credit financing, add clients, monitor, salespeople, all those type of things is all available in one place. Now, somebody asked about List Yourself. We talked about List Yourself as well. So you already know a little bit more about List Yourself. I want to buy a rental real estate property, residential condo for $290,000. Yes, you can. A lot of our clients do get financing for real estate. A lot of our clients. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest industries we serve are real estate agents and real estate investors. You can use a few different options. You can use that unsecured up to $150,000 and no doc financing. That will work. We even have what's called house flipper financing, which is where you can get the money to rehab houses and sell houses, or you could build the business credit, use Visa, MasterCard, or don't forget, there's just a bunch of other funding options that we talked about as well through Finance My Business that may work as well. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're going to have a number of different options there available. How long does it take to get access to $100,000 plus credit lines? 6 months. How long business credit building takes is how long it takes for the accounts to report. So when you get vendor credit, it takes 30 to 60 days to report, 30 to 90. How do you know which vendors take 90 days to report, which take 30? That's what we put in our finance suite. We tell you how fast they report if they take 90 days, so you don't apply for those that take longer. So once those report, usually in 30 to 60 days, then you get to retail store credit, revolving store credit, or the store credit and retail credit. Then once that reports, which takes, again, about 60 days or so, then you get to Visa, MasterCard. So that point takes about 4 to 6 months to get to that. And then at that point, the kind of limits that you get depend on how much limits you've got as you've continued to build your business credit. What kind of financing can I use to buy equipment like a truck? We have a lot of different kind of financing for equipment. There's three main kinds of equipment financing that are available. We offer all of them. One is equipment financing. You can get even as a startup, even with 500 credit scores. The second one is equipment leasing. You got to be in business a year, but the equipment can be leased with lower payments than financing. The third is called equipment sale leaseback, where you're basically using equipment you already own, you sell it back to the lender and they lease it back to you. Basically, you make payments and borrow against equipment you already own. So those can work all of them really well. Plus, we have auto or commercial vehicle financing as well that works good for truck drivers, for over-the-road truck drivers as well. And again, as truck drivers, you need a lot of other things as well. You need gas. You need to make sure that you have the fuel cards. You need to make sure that you have the auto repairs, the maintenance, and all those kind of things. And as you come in here to build business credit, all those type of things are available when you get into the other steps too, with the revolving fleet credit accounts. So the fleet credit helps you a lot as well, especially as a truck driver, because for example, you and I both know if you drive trucks that you're getting gas at places like Wawa, 7-Eleven. So these limits are very high, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 limits. So you can get the fuel you need, the vehicle repairs, the maintenance that you need to get done, and then you can also come in and you can also get auto vehicle financing as well. Somebody else is offering, how's a partner program work? How much money can you make? Well, it depends on you. What we ultimately do is you sell the finance suite, white label, your logo, your branding here. It doesn't have partner resources and commissions and all that because you're selling to an end user, not you as a potential partner. And you're typically going to sell the finance suite like we do for $2,500 to $3,500 conservatively. And then you pay us $700 per every finance suite you sell. It's really that simple. So when you come in to add clients, for example, then what happens, you go in to add clients, you say one of two things. Either one, I want to actually come in and submit somebody for funding. This is called our executive program. It's up to you whether you pay it or not. It's $99 a month, and it lets you get paid on funding that your clients get, and you get a bunch of other resources. This only applies for the VIP program and Ultimate, because if you're just building business credit, you don't need to be a part. You're not paying anything for a partner. But you can come in and choose to just enter somebody for financing, not pay a dime to do that. You just enter them in. Okay, then if we can get them approved for financing, we basically split the commission with you half and half. We have a deal closing. No, it closed already today. To give you an example, the fee on that was $25,000. So our partner got $12,000 on that one deal, and they don't have to disclose it. They didn't have to pay anything to submit the customer. They just submitted them for funding, and we got them approved and got the deal done. I'm not saying you're going to get 12 grand at every deal. How much you collect on finance deals really comes down to two things. How many customers do you have, or how much money are we getting that customer? In that case, we got them 300 grand. That's why the amount was higher. And then what program is it? Some programs pay higher than another. So you can enter somebody for funding and we help them get financing, and then we pay you 50%, or you can enter them for business credit. And if we get them financing and they get business credit, we still get paid on the financing as well. And you can enter a single client, which is $700, or you can do what we call bulk enrollments, which means you could pay as little as $500 per finance suite, and you're typically selling it for $2,500 to $3,500. We do have clients that sell it for $4,000 to $5,000. So you determine the price, and then we cover all the servicing. They get immediate access to the finance suite when you set it up. They get a username and password. They get access to our advising team. Our advising team is calling them from your company, so it's all white label in your name. Okay, they're getting access to financing, a finance team, all of that in your name. So they get the technology, they get all the servicing, and then you're basically out there making, $2,000 to $3,000 in profit per front end sale. And then, of course, you can make money when they come in and when they get financing as well. How are initial credit limits decided? Well, when you come in and build business credit, usually initial business credit with vendors is typically about $500 to $2,000. So when you come in here to round one, you're getting Uline, Quill, those for about $500 to $1,500 of the initial approvals. Then when you start to get into revolving store credit, the approvals are usually starting between $2,000 and $5,000. And then as you start to use the credit and pay the bill, the more of that credit you're using, then the more credit you start to get and the higher the limits get. Usually before you get the cash credit at 4 months, you have at least one, if not multiple limits of $10,000 or higher. And then when you get past 4 months to 6 months, that's when you start to get into 20, 30, 40, $50,000 individual limit accounts. Some of them are rare, 75 grand, 100 grand. Christine got a $300,000 limit account. So it depends. When you look at people like Christine, the reason her approvals are so high is because she uses her credit. Business credit reports show the recent amount of credit you've used. So if you get credit and you're not using it, well, then if you spend $100 at Quill, your business credit report reflects that you've only spent $100. So it's hard to get a $50,000 credit limit when the most you've ever spent is $100. So if you want to get higher limits, you have to use the credit. The more you use the credit, the more that the credit issuers report to the reporting agencies that you spent 5 grand, that you spent 2 grand, that you spent 10 grand. And then that's why the other credit issuers are issuing you even higher approvals, because they see that you're using the credit. So to answer your question, to start with, you get $500 to $1,500 limits through vendors. When you start to get the revolving store credit, most of those are about $1,000 to $5,000 limits, typically about $2,000 to $5,000 limits. Then as you start to use those and pay them back, then in the 4 to 6 months, as you continue to apply for more credit, you get into the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 limit accounts. Christine is 5 months in to building her existing business credit, and she got a $50,000 PNC credit card, for example. With her new business, she's built business credit for 2 businesses. One she's had for like 10 years, and the other one she just started building business credit with. And again, even the newer company she's had for 5 months, for example, she's already getting the $50,000 limit approvals. So hopefully that helps answer that question for you. Okay. So tell me more about how you get paid on direct funding. Well, again, if you're adding clients in and you have a customer, let's say a buddy of yours wants a loan, and you go, hey man, I got the solution where I can help you get that loan. And you basically come in, you refer them to us. Our team works with over 1,000 lenders. So we do what's called a finance blueprint to see all the money he can qualify for. The finance blueprint basically helps us determine, of all the financing, the 1,000+ lenders we have, what kind of financing can they get? Can they get a term loan? Can they get a line of credit? Can they get short-term revenue financing? Can they get an SBA loan? We help them get that kind of financing. The deal closes. They don't know how much you make or we make. None of that's disclosed. We take the fee. We basically split it for you. If we get paid 10 grand, you get paid 5 grand if you're part of our executive program, which again is $99 a month. You can choose to be part of that or not. It's your choice. It's that simple. And then if they come in and get revenue lending here, which is only looking at their bank statements, no consumer credit requirements. If they come in and get revenue lending, for example, then we talk to them and we say, look, our next goal for you is a term loan. In order to get a term loan, you're going to need tax returns that show a profit. Here's what we want you to do. You're going to need to have better credit. So here, you working with somebody with credit repair, let's guide you to somebody that can help with that. We help them get set up to what we do call graduate to the next stage. Then the next stage is we graduate and we get them term loans. We get them a 5-year low interest rate loan. And then the next thing we say is, okay, now you got that. Now we want to get you an SBA loan. That's 30-year loan, and that's 7% interest. In order to do that, you got to get collateral. The best way to get collateral is to start accepting payments from your customers. So accept payments from your customers through account receivables. And by accepting payments from your customers through account receivables, that way we can turn around and we can actually get you approved for an SBA loan in 6 months. And we graduate them. So we try to get them as much money as possible, graduate them. And if you enter somebody in even once as a funding client, every time we fund them, we get you paid. Why that matters is revenue lending, which we're looking at right now. Over 70% of our clients come back and get more money again and again and again and again. I showed you that doctor that got 1.5 million. He came back and got all that money. The partner that entered him in the first time got paid commissions on every one of the $1.5 million that we got the client. So every time he comes back and gets more money, she just gets checks. So that's what's nice about our funding program, is that we pay the highest commission splits anywhere. 50% of the money that we get, you get. We do the work, you supply the lead. And you can submit customers for direct funding without even selling them anything. Or if they get financing because you sold them a finance suite, which is what we call the system, then we get you paid commissions there as well. So a lot of different options for you there as well. Can I set up and train my sales team? Yes, you can. You have the ability right here to set up a sales team. You also have sales team training. So what's nice about this, and they have their own resources. Why? Because they don't need all the resources you need. They don't need all the training you need. We're talking to you about advertising and marketing. Your sales team guys don't need that. So we condense it to only five steps, and we map out the exact steps to be able to come in and actually offer business credit and financing as a service. That's how that works. Talk to me about the special again. The special is pretty simple. This is the way it works. It's going to expire Friday. You're getting everything I showed you with our finance suite, where you could build business credit, get financing for one price of this. $24.97 or same 7 payments of $597. You can also come in again and you can pay $100 more a month or pay $34.97 and be a partner. This works a lot of sense if you're actually going to offer this to customers as an actual product or service. So that's how that actually works. And again, if you go to creditsuite.com/webinar, that timer will click down to Friday at midnight, and that timer then at that point it will expire. You can still enroll with us. You just won't get those bonuses in the $500. And the bonuses are pretty cool because you're becoming a published author. You're also able to get the business valuation, get the credit monitoring for only $24 a month, which is cheaper than you can get it anywhere. And you're able to spend that extra time with our advising team. Next question, what exactly do your advisors do? Our advisors are advisors. They're not coaches. So, or they're not a customer service. So what that means is it means that when you need our team, you can either email us, you can call us, or you can just simply click the chat button right here at the bottom and chat with our team of your actual finance suite. Okay, you can click right down here. But our team reaches out to you too. We coach you through the process. Our team's bilingual. They speak English and Spanish, our advising and our finance team. We call you 5 times the first 5 days. Why? Because that's when you're in step 1 and 2. Building your business credit, and that's where you need the most help, is getting through those initial stages, getting your initial vendor credit accounts. Okay, then we'll call you regularly after that. So we're not just waiting for you to call us, we're calling to coach you through the program. Why? Because we believe in speed. This whole system is based on one thing: how can we get you business credit as absolute quickly as possible? So what we find is that if you don't have somebody coaching you through a process, you kind of sit on your hands a bit. You take a step, you forget about it, weeks pass, you come back. Well, our team won't let you do that. Our team is constantly not calling you and annoying you. If you tell us to call you less, we will. But we're calling you and helping coach you through the next process, through the process as quickly as possible, to condense something that will take you 2 years on your own to do within 4, 5, 6 month time period. So we're saving you that time because, again, we're mapping everything out for you step by step. We're sending you emails that help you through the process as well. We're giving you all different kind of training to help you through this process. And then on top of that as well, you're able to come in and you're able to build, or you're able to also come in and be able to be successful that way. So, we want to help you be successful as quickly as possible by helping coach you through the process. We're able to do just that. We're able to kind of prompt you along to get the fastest results. So our advisors will help you there. Then we've helped over 15,000 people build business credit, right? So almost any question you have, we're going to know the answers to. We're going to be able to come in and help you set up your entity and help you, do everything the right way and quickly. If your entity and everything is set up, we'll help you. I told you earlier that, for example, Thelma got denied and then got approved for a loan right away. Well, the reason is because when we came into business credibility, we realized there was a mismatch between the spelling of her name and the Secretary of State records and what she actually had on her business application. And the minute we fixed the mismatch in spelling, she was then able to come in and get approved. So those are the type of things our advisors will help you with. She would never have known that that was the reason her loan got denied. She thought it was a million other factors. When we helped her do a quick 5-point check to make sure her name was correct in all listing places, then what happened was we were able to then come in, find the inaccuracy, correct it, send her back to the lender, and she was able to get approved. But even when she can't get approved for financing, you still have the ability to come in and go through the Finance My Business section of the finance suite, and then come through this section and actually be successful. So because even if you can't get money to bank, you can still get money here if you have consistent revenue or good credit or collateral. If you have any kind of strength, then we all work with a lot of different kind of financing that can be able to get you approved. Tell me more again about the $150,000 credit lines. That is the unsecured financing program. And what that is is the unsecured financing program basically will give you up to 5 to 8 different credit lines that you could take the cash out on, 0% rates that report to the reporting agencies, okay? And also, they help you build business credit as well as giving you cash. So you can max them out, not hurt your personal credit because they only report to the business credit reporting agency. You could choose if you want even more money and get personal cards and business cards, but the business cards report only the business reporting agency. So you build business credit and you get up to 150,000 in cash, even as a startup. Look, get in touch with us if this makes sense, because you don't even have to actually buy the finance suite to get this. If you don't want to enroll and you just want to get financing with us, well, give us a ring. We don't. My audio still works. Yeah, I just unplugged my microphone. So we don't charge you a dime to get financing. Lenders will charge you what lenders will charge you. Use the new hardware. Oh, yeah. Okay, lenders will charge you what lenders will charge you, but we don't charge you any money to get financing because the lenders give us a referral fee in a lot of cases when we fund deals. So that's how we make our money. We get you good rates and terms and discount, and then we sometimes get a referral fee, sometimes we don't. Just depends on the loan program. But again, we can even help you get money. So if you can qualify for financing, give us a ring, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. We can help you with that. The same with payment plans. If you like what we have, but you don't know if it's affordable, then don't let that be a barrier. We've got off-sheet pricing. We can work with you on special pricing plans. We've got Fundbox Pay. We can help you get financing. So don't let that be a barrier. Give us a call or send us an email. Okay, we're going to talk to you. We'll see what we can get done to help you get business credit and financing to actually be able to help you get what you need to be able to start getting business credit financing. And don't forget, guys, you're going to spend $2,500 on credit monitoring where it's less than $300 for us anyways. You're saving $2,200 on credit monitoring when it's only $2,500 to enroll with us. And not to mention, we help you get the DUNS and all these other things. So it's faster and cheaper for you to work with us than try to go at that on your own as well. What if your current business is in an industry that would result in denial? Should I create a new entity? And if so, what industry should be the new entity in? Well, Devin, it depends on what you're doing. If you're in a higher risk industry, you could still successfully build business credit in a lot of cases. The problem is that when you go to get loans and credit lines, it becomes more of an issue. The other problem is that if you're coming in and you're getting loans and credit lines, they're going to know the industry anyways, because they're going to dive deep into your business, your website, et cetera. So it doesn't matter. What our advice is when it comes to business credit building, try to choose as neutral of a business name as possible. So instead of saying that you are a credit consultants incorporated, well, then do consultants incorporated. Keep the words that reflect that you're in bail bonds or pornography or financial services out of the name, so the name itself won't indicate that you're in a high risk industry. Here's the drawback. The drawback is that might help make it easier to get approved for financing and credit, but it also makes it harder for your customers to know who you are and what you do. Like with us, we don't follow our own advice with that, right? We are a credit suite. Credit is financial services. It's high risk. It's harder for us to get loans. It's harder for us to get merchant accounts. But again, we are willing to make that sacrifice because we want our name to reflect what we do. So you have to make those decisions. We'll take the hits because we want the name to reflect what we do. But if you have a choice, go with a neutral business as possible. My other business that I've had for years that I just run a bunch of things through is called Elite Business, right? How neutral can you get? Elite Business. So it's so neutral. We've got other brands, including Wentworth Price, Stillwater Sterling. These names reflect credibility. They sound like important, credible names. But what's nice about them is that none of them say what we do. Nobody knows Wentworth Price just does business loans unless they look at the website. The name doesn't reflect that it does business loans. So those are examples of neutral names that won't reflect that you're in a high risk industry. So hopefully that can help you as well. Okay, I don't have a bunch of other questions coming in, which is good. That means I answered a lot of your questions, but I'm not going to leave you hanging. And listen, I don't expect you, if you want to work with us, just to buy because I was on here for 90 minutes talking to you. Okay, if you have questions, then give us a call. Let our team talk through and answer your questions individually. Let's talk about what's available for you payment-wise, those type of things. 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. We'll work with you to customize this to make sure that it makes sense for you if it's something you want to do. Maybe you're not ready to build your business credit yet. Maybe you're not trying to access money right now to grow the business. Maybe you're not interested in getting credit lines and loans at this point in the business. Maybe the timing's not right for you. But if you are, and the timing is right, and this makes sense, there's nothing like this that exists. We're the only ones that have it. It's the only system that builds business credit and gets you financing in one place. It's the only step-by-step online technological system like this to help build business credit, and also comes with business advisors. Only full service business credit building program where you're actually working with advisors to be able to actually build business credit instead of doing it on your own. It's the only place where you can get all loans and credit lines in one place instead of trying to work online to find that online lender that may help you. We work with not every one of them, but 1,000 of them, all the most well-known business lenders that are online. We help you get approved for that process so you don't have to navigate any of that on your own. The bottom line is, when you need money for your business, you have it all. You're getting it all in one place where you don't actually have to come in. You don't actually have to come through and struggle every time you need a loan to find somebody that will give you things like that as well. Are you guys associated with wealth builders? I'm stalling because I'm not sure. Yes and no. No, we're not affiliated with them, but I'm pretty sure Wealth Builders sounds really super familiar to me. So I think that Wealth Builders may be a partner of ours. But I'm not really sure. I'd have to know a little bit more about Wealth Builders, but that sounds pretty familiar. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Wealth Builders, I was on their actual podcast, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not positive. I'd have to look and see. What I will tell you is that if you're looking at anything like what we have, then more than likely they're actually using our system to do it. But that being said, I'm not sure. Wealth Builders sounds familiar. I'm not sure if they're a partner of ours or not. But that would be the only affiliation we would have, would be if they are. And if you could type or tell me what their website is, that would be great, because I'm looking at the website that is from Wealth Builders, but I don't really see or think that that's the Wealth Builders you're talking about. But yeah, the name does sound familiar, so they may be an actual partner of ours, but that would be the only affiliation we would have. But then, man, that name sounds familiar. I really even think that I was on a webinar with them, but I'm not really sure what that may be. So hopefully, I know that doesn't really necessarily answer your question. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you have any questions, don't worry, we're not gone. Give us a ring, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. Don't forget the special will go through Friday, creditsuite.com/webinar. We'll send you emails about that as well. I know how valuable your time is, so we're good to go. We were here for 90 minutes. I gave you a bunch of info to do this on your own. If you want to try the more difficult, time-consuming route, you still at least know the steps to do it. And if you want a shortcut, then you know exactly how to get in touch with us, and we can definitely be more than happy to help you along the way. So I look forward to working with you all. And if you have any questions, give us a ring, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. I will go ahead and end this with no more questions to make sure that you all can get back to your families, your lives, and building your business. So thanks, everybody. Look forward to working with you and helping you build business credit and get financing for your business. Hope everybody has a great day. Thanks, everybody.